integrated theory is still the source of great controversy.
A good architecture wants structure should be useful, durable, and beautiful.
A party is thrown in the small meeting room. A very basic feature of computing is counting and calculating. Academic problems cause a rise in employment. The aerial photographs were promptly registered for thorough evaluation.
Agenda items should be submitted by the end of the day. All industries consist of input, process, output, and feedback.
All of the assignments should be submitted in person to the faculty office. All students are expected to attend 10 lab sessions per semester. Although sustainable development is not easy, it is an unavoidable responsibility. Animals raised in captivity behave differently from their wild counterparts. Before attending the lecture, you must register online or by post. Before submitting your dissertation, your advisor must approve your application.
His appointment to Economic Culture Minister was seen as a demotion.
The article reflects a number of very interesting experiments. Climate change is now an acceptable phenomenon among a group of reputable scientists. Clinical placement in nursing prepares students for professional practice. Control systems in manufacturing provide a high level of accuracy.
Radio is a popular form of entertainment throughout the world.
Daily practice can build confidence and improve skills. Despite their differences, all forms of lives share the same characteristics. Economic problems caused a big rise in unemployment. Evaluation forms will be reviewed by university personnel.
Everyone must evacuate the premises during the fire drill.
Many experts think that the world climate is constantly changing.
Experts believe that industrial development will help the economy. Free campus tours run daily during summer for prospective students. Geography is generally divided into two branches, human and physical. Government reforms have been proposed at all levels.
He was regarded as the foremost economist at his time.
Human beings compete with other things for resources and space. I thought it was through the small meeting room. If finance is a cause of concern, scholarships may be available. The paper challenged many previously accepted theories.
If it helps to take notes to concentrate, please do so.
If you need additional help, visit the Student Resolve Center. Inflation affects the demand, pricing, and consumption of most products.
Tribes vied with each other to build up monolithic statues.
It is absolutely vital that you acknowledge all your sources.
It was hard to anticipate how all the different characters would react.
Let me know if anybody struggles in the lab. Library reference desks hold a lot of materials on academic history. Making a mistake is fine, as long as you learned from it. Many graduates of journalism can get jobs in the communications field.
You will need to purchase an academic gown for commencement.
Most of the students have not considered this issue before. Most of the features were part of the previous system.
The chemistry club is located near the entrance to the campus.
Mutually exclusive events can be described as either complementary or opposite. Native speakers are exempt from language tests in their own language. Our professor is hosting the Business Development Conference.
Observers waited nervously and with bated breath for the concert.
Parents are financially responsible for their children until they reach adulthood. Public perception about biotechnology is crucial for developing scientific consensus. Relevant materials are reserved in the library. Remember to sign the attendance register before leaving the lecture hall. Resources and materials are on hold at the library's reference desk. Review all sources before drawing any conclusions. Rivers provide habitats and migration pathways to fish and numerous aquatic species. Safety glasses should be worn while doing experiments in the lab. Scientists are always asking the government for more money.
She used to be the editor of the student newspaper.
Students' concession cards can be obtained by completing an application form.
Students are required to use research methods for this project. Students have the option to live in college residences or apartments. Supply and demand is one of the most fundamental concepts in economics.
The synopsis contains the most important information.
Teaching assistants will receive a monthly remuneration for housing. Teaching assistants will receive a monthly stipend for housing.
The exposure of advertising to children is open to much debate.
The application process may take longer than it's expected. The artists, tied with the conservative politicians, earned the roles of critics. The author's previous works are more theoretical and less experimental. The business development seminar includes an internship with a local firm. The cafeteria features sandwiches, salads, soup, fish, and chicken. The campus tour will help you to get familiar with the teaching facilities. The celebrated theory is still a subject of great controversy. The chemistry building is located near the entrance of the campus. The city's founder created a set of rules that became the law.
The Commissioner will portion the funds among all the sovereignties. The author's early works are less philosophical and more experimental.
The extent of advertising to children is very much open to debate.
The first assignment is due on the 14th of September. The following economic policy lecture has been canceled. The island is located at the south end of the bay. The leading companies have changed their policies and procedures after their reports were released. The library holds a substantial collection of materials on economic history. The massive accumulation of data is converted to a communicable argument.
Scientists were unsure when the early men left Africa.
The nation achieved prosperity by opening its ports for trade.
The new paper challenged the previously accepted theories.
The placement test for mathematics and statistics is offered in this semester. The qualification will be assessed by using a conference criterion to approach. The railway makes long-distance travel possible for everyone. The same issue featured both explanations of the problem. The school's summer programs help students to accelerate their studies. The sociology department is highly regarded worldwide. The teacher asked the group to commence the task. The technician left the new microscope in the biology lab. The theme of the instrumental work exhibits more of a demure compositional style. The toughest part of public transport is funding. Assignments should be submitted to the department office before deadline. The undergraduates need some specific sources to analyze a specific program. The university theater group will be performing in the concert hall.
The untapped potential use of sun rays is phenomenal. The untapped potential way to monitor sun's rise is phenomenal.
The ways in which people communicate are constantly changing. There will be a conference here next summer on using the web for academic research. Those students seeking formal extension should talk to their faculties for more information. Traffic is the main cause for pollution in many cities. Traveling by boat on the river is not possible in winter. Try to work with each other to build up a sense of cooperation and team spirit. Understanding how to use the library will save your time.
University departments carefully monitored articles and other publications by faculty.
University departments should carefully monitor articles and publications by faculty. We study science to understand and appreciate the world around us. When launching a product, research and marketing are very vital. When workers ask for an increase in wages, the company raises its prices. When workers ask for higher wages, companies often raise their prices. While reconciliation is desirable, the basic underlying issues must first be addressed. Years of training is required to become a medical specialist. You are required to complete the research paper by next Monday. You are required to submit your assignment by Friday. You are trained to be a special journalist. You can contact all your tutors by email. Your lowest quiz grade has been omitted from the calculations.
Enrolling in a double major may increase the career options.
Experts are now able to forecast weather for long periods.
Every student has the right and the ability to succeed.
Please click the logo above to enter the site.
The posters are on display at the larger lecture theatre.
Good research delivers practical benefit to real people. There are opportunities to receive the grants from most artistic fields. Accounting students should have a good understanding of profit and loss statements.
Our new medical students should attend the talk about optional courses.
They were struggling last year to make their service pay.
This course puts great emphasis on the critical thinking skills.
A good research assistant is not afraid to be asked questions. All lectures and learning materials can be found on the internet.
calculators may not be used during the examination.
It was 4 more years before the theory was fully developed.
It will be extremely beneficial to work together. Global connections thrived in academic communities thanks to social media.
Students who are successful have a good strategy of learning.
Food containing too many calories supplies little or no nutritional value.
You will study 2 courses and 3 modules.
This book can be borrowed for a maximum of 1 week. Good nutrition is crucial to the general health and vitality.
As student union members, you can influence and change our university.
We can meet in the office after the lecture. You don't need to have specialist knowledge to be able to read the book. Some of the vocational courses are provided by many private enterprises.
Some vocational courses at institution are funded by private enterprises.
The department has organized a trip to London in July. Undergraduates have a wide range of cultural modules to choose from. Social media is criticized of causing internet addiction. It is necessary to dress formally for the graduation ceremony.
Essays and assignments are spread out across the academic year.
Statistically speaking, the likelihood of the result is extremely low.
Measures must be taken to prevent unemployment rate from increasing.
Advanced technology will cause growth in the economy.
Students should leave their bags on the table by the door. The North Campus car park could be closed on Sunday.
The blue whale is the largest animal to have ever lived.
The printers automatically print 2 sides of each page. There is a widely believed perception that engineering is for boys.
Archaeologists discovered tools and artifacts in ancient tombs. Speak to your tutor if you need further assistance. Much of the research is carried out in the laboratory. Continuing students will be sent for application forms. Manufacturing now brings more people in than agriculture and fishing combined. Every student has a regular meeting with his or her personal tutor.
More research is needed before any definitive conclusion can be drawn.
We can't consider any increases in our prices at this stage.
It is important to make clear notes when you are reading. You need to hand in an essay in the next semester.
The very basic feature of computing would be counting and calculation.
Studying history can help you better understand the present.
The balance in diet and exercise makes for good health.
It was hard to anticipate how all the different characters would react.
Classical mechanism is sometimes considered as a branch of mathematics.
Practical experiments are essential parts of chemical classes. You will be tested via quiz and dissertation. He was regarded as the foremost economist at that time. In any written assignment, a detailed literature review is important. Many diseases on the list have been irritated. Eating fish twice a week is an accommodation on a health diet.
Many food crops require a large amount of water and fertilizer.
Air pollution is a serious problem all over the world. New media journalism is an interesting area for study.
There is an accounting assessment for finance students.
New materials and techniques are changing the way of architecture.
The university provides excellent leisure facilities for students and staff.
Information technology has changed the way we study.
Relying on natural abilities will not get you far in science.
Students are required to have an undergraduate degree in biology to be enrolled in this course.
This project is divided into 4 main sections. People have been dependent on using phones in their everyday life. People have been dependent on using phones in their everyday life.
Philosophy uses a lot of logics and reasons to analyze human experience.
These three separate resources are not enough for this assessment.
The two sides have disagreed on how to solve the problem.
A world-renowned expert of financial management will give a guest lecture. Students will develop confidence to their ability to think critically.
Neuroscience is a compound of completely separate parts.
Students must attend the safety course before entering the engineering workshop.
There is no fixed career path for a qualified journalist. That means they have so many struggling overlaps. The school canteen sells a large variety of water and food. Technological developments have changed the way we live. Sugar is a solid carbohydrate which is always used in sweet food. You have the freedom to study what interests you most. All students have their own styles of learning. Education is learning skills for employment. Water is heated to something and added to the mixture. Scholarships are available for both local and international students. Finding cocoa in dark chocolate promotes immunity and mood. Family life is difficult for parents who have shift work. You wrote poetry and plays as well as scientific papers. Scientists can develop new elements in their laboratory. Businesses must obey regulations. The universities provide exchange programs to other countries. Every living thing begins as a single cell. The renowned journalism will last for half of the century. Career mobility is very important for new graduates. Academic journals are often edited by subject specialists. Oil only reserve half-century. Rivers provide habitat and migration pathways for numerous aquatic species. The deadline of the marketing assignment has been extended. City planners recognize the needs of accessible public transport options. There are a variety of different ways to present statistical information. The student magazine is looking for a new editor. Every experiment should be repeated to validate it. Lecture outlines are available on the faculty board and internal website. The amount of time spent on configuration varies considerably. It is clear that the human population impacts the environment.
Rising inflation rate indicates the increasing demands on consumer products.
This course can help to deepen your appreciation of art. Parenting is difficult for parents who have shift work. An essay should use evidence from both primary and secondary sources. A surprisingly large number of students applied for that course.
Students may only park their cars in authorized university parking spaces.
Scientific experiments are repeated in order to find results. Rising sea temperature is a sign of climate change. The extent of advertising on children is very much open to debate. It is an integrated course with several main elements. There are places on campus where you can't get milk. We shall be studying the economy of several developing countries. Please make sure your applications are following the guideline provided. The teaching staff are actively engaged in original research. Money and how it is paid can affect the motivations to work. The university main library will be open till midnight until next Monday. The economic predictions turned out to be incorrect. The key witnesses to the event have conflicting recollections. The workshop will show you how to search the library catalogs. The research will investigate the great impact of gender on social attitude. Having clean water for human is vital for health. Journalism has undergone many changes in recent years. All mobile devices need to be switched off during the examination. The employment demand in engineering is increasing rapidly. Sympathy is a feeling of sorrow for someone who is not happy. Fast food has become very popular with many students. Students should take the training course to use the gym. Many cities are actively working on ways for reducing air pollution. The digital revolution has changed the way we read.
Mechanical engineering first became prominent during the Industrial Revolution.
Good educators can recognize the different kinds of learning styles. Reading widely is an important part of the undergraduate study. Many companies use personality tests in interview process. Having snow means no flight can take off or land. All the equipment must be returned to laboratory by Wednesday. At that moment, few people moved from the towns to the villages. The study of history can provide unique insight. The sociology exam will take place in week 13. Libraries provide a range of services for students.
Summer schools allow some students to accelerate their studies.
You can buy a ticket for the lecture from the school secretary. International aid programs have been reduced by the new government. According to the law of the gravity, all objects attract to each other. The new biology course will be starting in February. There are many exciting developments occurring in the industry. These regions were both areas of economic development. The content is to define the combination of math and philosophy. There are a variety of disciplines in the field of engineering. There have been long streams of extreme weather throughout human history. Before architecture was invented, people used to live in underground houses. There are so many fast food outlets on campus nowadays.
He has landed the job in a prestigious law firm.
The cafeteria will only serve cold milk on Friday this week. Mobile devices are not allowed during the examination. There are many concerns about the research, for example, financial considerations. Changing your interest is a natural part of the learning process. Democracy is constantly offering the most stable form of government. Rail transport is becoming more and more popular. Industry experts will discuss the opportunities in an automated workforce.
Remember, the prestigious election of student membership has strict eligibility criteria. All industries can be thought of as a system of input, processes, output, and feedback.
Students are permitted to park at campus parking spaces. The post office will be closed on Mondays and Fridays afternoon. We have a lecture in the morning on Thursday. The essay contains most of the important information. When the court pronounces the sentence, the judge will see if she is regretting. The article extrapolates a number of very interesting experiments. Members should make mandatory contributions to associated operating funds. The study of utilizing projects is funded by the university. Many universities are continuously expanding the postgraduate education online learning resources. Experts said reading and listening to music can reduce stress.
New developments in technology are influencing current research.
We are more able to accommodate postgraduate students than previously possible. Cells are the basic building blocks of all animals and plants. There is an overlap between chemistry and other subjects. The participation rate in the study of language learning exceeded the expectations. New media is to find new areas to study.
Artificial intelligence has made significant progress in the last few years.
If you need a parking ticket, see me after the lecture. One of the key conclusions is that the development needs were met. We will never learn that if life exists on other planets. Social policy describes the ways in which the society meets human needs. For any written assignment, a detailed literature review must be performed. The feedback from the students was positive. Parents today are involved in the education of their children. The world is now getting warmer at a fast rate. Coastal communities are particularly vulnerable to rising sea levels. You should submit your essay by midnight tomorrow. The library has a number of collections of historical and social statistical publications. Time and space are used to calculate the distance.
New media has a significant impact on human communications.
The chemistry building is actually being built. There are a wide variety of disciplines within the field of engineering. This paper has the potential to transform life science.
You should inform your professor if you are absent from your classroom.
There is a separate reading list for each course. The use of dictionary is not allowed during the examination. Time is needed to complete the lecture. Remember to sign the attendance prior to the class. The university canteen offers healthy meal options. You must sign for attendance in this class. Diet and exercise are the foundation parts of good health. A national collection center is currently being built. Time was needed to process complex lectures. There may be financial concerns in the research, for example, funding consideration. The first commercial airport was built on the island relative recently.
The physics students will be given an additional module this year.
Financial help for undergraduate study is available on application.
Communication skills have become more important in recent years. University graduates will work for a year in industries. The history of economics is a tricky subject to study. A bar chart can provide useful information in data comparison.
New credit cards will soon use fingerprint technology.
Please turn off the lights to save energy. Students are advised that all the lectures today have been cancelled. Sea levels are expected to rise during the next century. You can keep your bags in the back room. The restrooms are down the hall to the right. We should have a meeting to discuss and report. The students will meet their new teachers after the summer vacation. Please move us to the meeting room for the next hour. The teacher explained the homework to the class. Please close the door behind you when you leave the room. I want to make an appointment with the manager. Make sure you wash your hands before preparing the food. Our laboratory equipment is provided free of charge. The stairs are to the left of the elevator. You must call your doctor to make an appointment. You will take on your uniform on the first day. The large and wide table is not for sale. The weather used to be lovely at this time of the year. The fiction books are just past the counter. You can get your coffee and tea in the lounge. Food contains antibiotics, provides few or no nutrition value. Each student needs meet his or her tutors. Peer review is an essential part of scientific methods. The government financial plan has threatened the social services. Students and staff will automatically become a member in their library. The study of anthropology can help us learn about society today. In my opinion, the car should be repaired. This is a composed course, so make sure you attend.
Globalization often puts more pressure on national economic policies.
Technology and international trade are the key drivers of the global economy. Please read the Chapter 1 of the history textbook. The library has a wide range of collection of images and films. The Commissioner will allocate the funds among other authorities. The research paper examined the economies of 3 countries. Historical cities are financially dependent on the tourism as income. Our cultural values are dependent on the choices we made. Recycling systems can be complex, but they are becoming simpler. Science degrees are now offering different levels of specialization.
Atoms are the central building blocks of matter.
The library contains a wide collection of images and photographs. Most of the scientists disagreed to discuss the size and the levels of society. We aim to develop a partnership with the government and financial institutions. There will be a guest lecture in the next class. Participating in the class is the center of the course.
A good abstract highlights the key points of your paper.
Our lecture today will discuss the American War of Independence. Our lecture today will discuss the American War of Independence. There must be planets in the universe that can support life. Annual reports can give important information on company finances. University graduates lose their time finding jobs. Our culture influences the choices we make. Students with work experience may be successful in job applications. The study centre in the library has all the latest technology. The new king is crowned at the beginning of June. There's an agreed consensus that leadership skills can be taught. Music students will have great opportunities to work with musical professionals. The history of Asia is really studied in these regions. Participating in the work placement is beneficial to all students. This course is based on experimentation and practice. The local government has adopted a plan for infrastructure development.
Legumes and vegetables are major sources of vitamins. Female is better than male in academic results until 44 years of age. The most pollution comes from industrialized countries. Carbon dioxide is the main source of greenhouse gases that cause climate change due to human behaviors. It is generally accepted that language is a part of culture. In ancient times, the shelters attracted to this location. In ancient times, shelters harbor attracted travelers to its location. Some students prefer to learn by images and pictures. At university, students can make friends for life. The majority of academic publications are in English. I would like all engineering students to raise their hands. Most students need computers to do their homework. The typical part of this course involves the study of society. Contracts can help to avoid misunderstandings between businesses. Graduates from this course generally find jobs in insurance industry. You must change your password every month. Technology has changed the media we both use and study. Banks change interest from the money lent to customers. Two drops of the solution were heated in a test tube. Computer science has become a popular university degree course. Global warming is a threat to economic growth. To gain access to the facility, student cards must be shown. The theme of the course is to encourage students to develop their creativity. You will be tested by continuous assessments and examinations. The college operates a system of continuous assessment. Climate change is not a pure reason for scientific research. It is important for scientists to publish their research. The car accident happened on Saturday outside the school gate. Scientists have found all parts of science. Social media has grown enormously in recent years. You did not need special knowledge to enjoy this book. The sports group practices on Wednesdays and plays on weekends. Our undergraduate courses are designed with employmentability in mind. The research results will be shared with the internal and external stakeholders. Employers accept applications from all academic backgrounds.